Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Azizul Fazly bin Basori. A wide sociological theory of history was formed by Abdul Rahman ibn Mohamad ibn Khaldun, who became known as one of the most inventive philosophers of the Middle Age via his book The Muqaddimah. The Muqaddimah is a collection of essays. It was on May 27, 1332, when Ibn Khaldun was born in Tunisia. In the course of the Muslim conquest of Spain, his family, originating from southern Arabia, original from Arab, relocated to Seville, where they established themselves in the city political and intellectual life. Next, in the days leading up to the Christian reconquest, they left and eventually settled in the Tunisian desert. For his part, Ibn Khaldun was intricately tied to the cultural heritage of Muslim Spanish culture. While growing up in Tunis, Ibn Khaldun studied about conventional religious subjects, including jurisprudence, according to the Maliki school of thought, as well as logical science. In addition, he received a liberal arts education, which is essential for a career in public service. Al-Abili, who came in Tunis in 1347 and introduced him to philosophy, was a particular admirer of his works.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurin Syahira Alani, Binti Ahmad Aminuddin, and my metric number is 277-861. Today, I would like to share background of Ibn Khaldun. Ibn Khaldun's full name is Abdul Rahman ibn Mohamad ibn Abibak Muhammad. Ibn al-Hasan ibn Khaldun al-Hadrami was an Arab scientist who lived between 1332 to 1395. The name Khaldun is derived from the descendant of Khalid bin Uthman, a Yemeni army officer who once served in the Andalusia army. Due to the leprosy epidemic that ravaged his community, he had lost both his mother and father. Tunisia was ravaged by a cholera outbreak. He relocated to Algeria, Fez, Granada, Bogi, and Egypt. He was also a prominent Islamic thinker in history, sociology, politics, and religion. His father taught him as a youngster and sent him to study with several prominent Islamic teachers in Tunisia. Ibn Khaldun also held various prominent posts, including being assigned as a correspondent at the Fez Palace, being a haji, a qadi, and a preacher, acting as a mediator between the royal family's power struggle and serving as a judge of the royal court in Egypt. According to Toynbee, Western scholars regard Ibn Khaldun as an outstanding character and thinker who made a significant contribution to humanity around the world. Ibn Khaldun is regarded as one of history's finest philosophers and scholars. Ibn Khaldun likewise believed that everything conferred by God could be verified empirically, for example by experience and investigation. Ibn Khaldun is well known for his contributions to sociology, astronomy, numerology, chemistry, and history. Ibn Khaldun alone has set the groundwork for Islamic and Arab intellectual tradition of autonomous thought, responsible administration, efficient marketplaces, empirical scientific investigation, sociological study, and historical research.
So my name is Najah Binti Ahmad Daud, while my metric number is 279449. So we continue by the idea of Ibn Khaldun on economic theory. The first idea is household management entails a variety of exchange activities which one another for economic specific needs. As a result, people must make an effort to survive and meet their basic needs. With this motivation, they are free to use everything that God has created on earth. This is a study of human efforts to find life, and it may reveal the economic issues that will arise after starting a family. Ibn Khaldun aimed to demonstrate the close relationship between the economy and prosperity. The emphasis on household or urban management is sound and ethical. The second one is about production. According to Ibn Khaldun, production is a planned human activity in a social and international context, while the division of labor is another production theory. According to him, there are three major categories of labor, which is farming, trade, and various other activities. The farm is the most basic method of production. This labor was the livelihood of the people in the rural areas because farm activities required less knowledge. The third one is price theory. In his book Muqaddimah, Ibn Khaldun explained about price theory in detail in a chapter titled Price in Pekan. So according to him, the more developed a city is and the more people live there, the more prosperous it is, and thus the demand for necessities rises as does the price. Ibn Khaldun's theoretical discipline of economics has analyzed supply and demand, where it occurs when increasing the amount of income that people can use. This increase is likely to boost people's marginal prosperity in terms of luxury goods consumption. Last but not least, about taxes and spending. So, Ibn Khaldun argued that they are an important factor that an individual should consider when running a business. They must do everything possible to maximize their profits. The higher the tax rate, the less willing they are to accept a small profit. In terms of government spending, it is covered by taxes collected by the government to purchase specific goods as procurement for public needs. As a result, he contends that the government is a market for goods and services. Ultimately, there is a trade theory. Ibn Khaldun went on to explain that farmers receive more crops than they are required. As a result, they exchange crop yields for other products as needed. Trade, according to him, is buying goods at all lower price and selling them at a higher price. According to him, these types of labor necessities curtain behavior such as hospitality and persuasion.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nain and I'm going to continue 4.0 current situation with the theory of labor. I can relate this theory of labor by Ibn Khaldun from New Straits Times article on 10 September 2031, and the title is Malaysia to lose 2 billion ringgit tax revenue from labor shortage in 2021. I prepared this QR code in case Madam and everyone want to read full article about what I will mention about. In this article, they predicted production income losses of 20% to 30% in 2021. The government might lose up to 2.0 billion in extra tax revenue from the palm oil business. According to Ibn Khaldun, in Theory of Labor, Ibn Khaldun had divided division of labor into three levels, which is industrial level, social level, and international level. The first part is industrial level. Ibn Khaldun emphasized that individuals have their own limitation in producing something and they must rely on others. This means that for sure everyone have their own expertise, but if they work together, they can make the work become more easier and finish the task on. In March 2020, government had frozen the intake of foreign workers due to the COVID-19. The result is shortage of 75,000 manual harvesters, which are the major workers from foreign workers. The small number of labor forces will decrease production. Next, social level. So, this will receive a low number of supply in the factory and are not able to produce more palm oil. In the last level is international level. In 2019, Malaysia had ranked the second highest exporter of palm oil to other countries at 30.4%. This I get the percentage from Observatory of Economic Complexity 2019. And according to Department Statistics Malaysia official portal 2020 April, export of palm oil showed a decline of 2.4%. This statistics are shown after government take action to frozen the intake of foreign workers. Dato' Mohamad Nagih Wahab said he is a chief executive officer of Malaysian Palm Oil Association said that Malaysia might lose an extra 20 billion revenues because of the decline of export of palm oil. Dato' Mohamad Nagih Wahab said again that Malaysia palm oil activities are expected to pay a range of 9 billion ringgit to 12 billion ringgit total effective tax in 2022, lower than previous year due to lower production and returns. The reduced contribution in paying taxes will affect the government income. Taxes collected by the government will be used to improve the infrastructure and purchase new goods and public needs. So, when the tax is reduced, so the government had low income. So this will affect all of the planning by the government in infrastructure and so on.
My name is Siti Sufina Binti Mohamad Sufian. My metric number is 08340. For conclusions, tax rates show that Ibn Khaldun was not in favor of increase in tax rates to obtain more tax revenue. It is because higher tax rates will have a negative impact on people who work motivation. People will believe that even if they work well, they will still be burdened by heavy tax. They make the conscious decision not to work diligently. The circumstances will have an impact on tax revenues. People's income will be lower, which means less tax will be collected. The government will be able to obtain more tax money as a result of the increased income, demonstrating that Ibn Khaldun's thesis is still applicable today. When people are taxed at a reduced rate, they will be more encouraged to work. The average person's salary rise. As a result, the combination of Khaldunian and Laffer have created a new approach for seeing growth in a country following a change in the tax rates.